Hello and welcome to the October edition of Community Connect, brought to you by the Marshall Area Chamber of Commerce. Our guest this month, Fire Chief Quentin Brunsvold. Thanks for being here.
Yeah, thank you, Brad, for inviting me.
Let's talk about what happened in September. It was a very, very busy month of September. But I just want to kick off today and congratulate the Mustangs and Tigers so far. What a fall they have had with the activities and the sports, whether it's football, swimming, cross country. There's a number of sports that they're all in, and I just want to kind of tip my hat off to the Tigers and Mustangs and all the student athletes here in the area. This past weekend, of course, was homecoming, and it's kind of a fun weekend, Quentin, wasn't it?
It was fun. Thanks for the invite. I got to spend some time with Brad and at the game here, so we had a good time with that, and go Mustangs and Tigers.
Yeah, of course, this upcoming weekend is the homecoming for the Tigers, so hopefully we can continue our win streak with the Marshall Tiger football team. Way back in, it seems like forever ago, Hopfest was in town. That was always the second weekend in September. Of course, did not disappoint. Thanks to everybody that came to town, and thanks to everybody that came to entertain our Marshall community. The annual Fall Craft and Vendor Show was put on by the Marshall girls hockey team on the 17th. Over 100 vendors were on site, and it was full. There's a lot of people. This is the kind of thing that attracts a lot of people to Marshall, and thanks to everybody that came to Marshall and all the vendors that came out to the Red Baron Arena on that day. That same evening was the annual Pursuit of Excellence that was right here on campus. This is my first time I've ever gone to it. Have you ever been to the Pursuit?
I haven't, no. They started, I think, back when I was in high school, but I've never been to it.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. My wife is really into marching bands. We actually stayed the whole 5 hours. We were there from like 5:30 to 10:30. It did not disappoint. I had a lot of fun, and I would probably do it again. So thanks to all the bands and everybody that came to town. Of course, the Tigers capped it off for the last performance of the evening. That started like at 10:30. It goes a long time. And finally, this past Thursday, we welcomed Tyler Farr to town. Good crowd, better weather, and a lot of energy. And thanks to many people that put this together, Cassie and Adria, the Visit Marshall, the fire department was there. They did a lot of volunteering, SMSU. A lot of players to put bring somebody like that to Marshall.
Yeah, it was awesome. We had a great time at it. The fire department did. We did sell some, do the beer garden there, which was really a lot of fun for us, and hopefully raise some money for that. And man, I'm looking forward to next year already.
Yep. So with that being said, as I mentioned earlier, Quentin Brunsvold is the fire chief in Marshall. It is fire awareness, or am I saying that right?
Well, it's Fire Safety Month.
Fire Safety Month is October every single month, so that figured it'd be a good fit to have Quentin back as a guest. It's been a few years since Quentin has been on the show. Quentin, explain how the fire department works. It seems like fire departments are a little bit different in every single city. How many staff are there? How is it structured? What are the roles in the fire department?
Yeah, good question. So we have 50 individuals that are on the fire department here. We are a department within the city of Marshall, so we're fully funded through the tax levy that way. We have a fire chief, a deputy chief, 2 assistant chiefs. We have 5 captains and 5 lieutenants, and those 5 captains and lieutenants really kind of make up of what our department really does. Of those 5, we have all truck companies, so all of our staff is all underneath those individuals, and really kind of put together what needs to be done for how to stay responsive ready, especially for what we do for the city. As on top of that as well, we do have 2 special response teams. The chemical assessment team, which is a state response team. We're contracted through the state of Minnesota. That is an annual contract that we have with that, and do a lot of training, get a lot of equipment, and then provide that service to 14 counties here in southwestern Minnesota. So we're very proud to be able to do that. They run a couple times a year, and every time they do run, it's never a good situation when they have to go, but they're highly trained individuals in order to provide that service to this region. And then here recently, within the last year, we started the technical rescue team. So you may have seen some postings on our Facebook page that show just hanging off of buildings and doing different types of rescues and different types of training, and we'll continually keep working on that to get that up to par what it should be. Work on confined space rescues for internal tank rescues and things like that. But really proud of all those guys that put a lot of time and a lot of effort into making the fire department what it is. 46 firefighters of the 50, and 4 of them are hazardous materials technicians. So we did pull in 4 individuals, which is really awesome to have them part of our team. And that's all they do, is they just work on the chemical assessment team, and they do a great job and provide a lot of leadership and guidance to our staff that really combine to make that team as a whole. So yeah, we're really proud of those guys and of all the staff and what we do for the city.
So today is, recording this today is Monday, the 3rd. Next week is Fire Prevention Week. What does that mean? What's your role in helping promote this? And of course, people may know about Operation Edith, but explain a little bit more how that's all involved too.
Yeah, good question. So Fire Prevention Week is actually, this is the 100th anniversary of it. It started in 2022 marks the 100th anniversary, 1922. Duh, makes up 100 years since that started from the National Fire Protection Association. And then in 1925, President Calvin Coolidge actually declared it, not a national holiday, but just recognized it federally. So it's not 100 years on that level, but with the National Fire Protection Association makes it 100 years, which is good. And the reason behind it actually started with the Great Chicago Fire of 1871, man. That was a big fire back then. Do some research on it. Caused, back in 1871, $200 million in damages, killed 300 people and destroyed over 17,000 structures. So that's what kind of drove this whole thing to make it what it is today. Essentially, it's just snowballed from there. And the little fun fact: the fire is said to have started when a cow kicked over a lantern in the O'Leary barn on the southwest side of the city. 1997, the Chicago City Council did pass a resolution exonerating Catherine O'Leary as well as her cow from starting that fire. But ironically, the Chicago Fire Department training facility or training academy is located on the site of the O'Leary farm that fire started back in the day. So it's kind of interesting how
it
that
is
works
interesting.
out.
Every once in a while you'll hear, if you go to somebody's house or something, oh, the brick in this house is from the Chicago fire.
Right, there you go. Yeah. So 17,000 structures, man, that's crazy. So Edith, Operation Edith is actually happening this upcoming Sunday, the 9th. Edith stands for Exit Drills in the Home, which correlates exceptionally well with this year's Fire Prevention Week slogan, which is "Fire won't wait, plan your escape." So that's what it is. Exit Drills in the Home is what Edith stands for, and that's what we want you to do. We want you to practice how to get out of your house. And then where you're going to go, find a safe place, whether it's at the neighbor's or the mailbox, or maybe it's the neighbor's mailbox, things like that. Call 911 so we can come and help put that fire out as well. But having 2 ways to escape your home if it's on fire is really, really important. We talk about it a lot, a fire, and this isn't 100% accurate, but it's pretty close based on fuel loads and things like that. But a fire doubles in size every 3 minutes. So just think about that. If fire starts in the basement of your house, you have a minimum amount of time in order to get yourself and your loved ones out of that structure in order to get as safe as possible, right? So really working on that is important. Two ways. So what we want you to do on Sunday, we're going to actually be driving around the city with the fire trucks. Lights and sirens is what we typically do. Creates a lot of buzz around the city about what's going on, but that's why we're fair warning you. And I did send a letter to every single city or household in the city explaining this as well that's happening. So if you didn't get that, look for that. It came out last week or week prior. For that, but starts at 7 p.m. We'll be driving around, and really what we want you to do is practice, especially with you and your children, and turn your outside lights on and wait for us to come around. We do count those just to see where we're at year over year, and it's really important and a fun thing for us to kind of see that our marketing materials are really working, and that's really important for us.
Speaking of marketing, you have your annual open house that's coming up here soon, where it's not only just an open house for the community, but it's also an attempt to try to recruit some more firefighters. What is the process of becoming a firefighter? Is this volunteer or is this paid?
Yeah, so we are actually a paid-on-call department. We do receive I think I don't remember what it is now, $19 or something like that per hour. So it is paid by the hour. We also receive an annual pension, which is kind of nice. It's $6,200 a year that that we do receive in a pension. You're fully funded, you're vested after 5 years and you're fully vested after 20. So that's what we're trying to get longevity, and we have a lot of younger people that have gotten on the fire department here recently, but we actually do hold an open house for that specifically. Here, it usually is about May, June-ish is when we do that, and really want people to come in and just see what the fire station's all about. How do we work? How do we operate it? Check out our equipment, things like that. So we start with a test, a written aptitude test. From there, if you pass, we do go to a physical ability test. We go out to the Merit Center and work on that, and it's a timed event. We put some equipment on you. We teach you how to do it, and then from there, if you do pass that, if you get under the satisfactory time limit, we invite you for oral interviews. And then after that, if everything goes well with that, we do a hazmat physical and everything with that, and then invite you to be part of the department on that. This year will likely be the last year we have to have that, which is a really good situation that we're in. Finally, it's been a long time. We've retired over 18 to 20 people here in the last 5 years, which is just crazy. But we're glad to be at a spot where we finally are we're at full strength right now. We're anticipating a couple more retirements here coming up, and I think it'll be the last time because we're really full of a lot of young people right now. So we're just barely over strength, which is a good place to be, and I'm really looking forward to this. So if you do have any inklings, ambitions, anything, want to be part of the process or be a part of the fire department, feel free. My phone number and my email address is right on the City of Marshall website. You can kind of follow or connect with me, and I can give you some timelines of when that will be, because it's really likely will be the last time for a few years.
Here's an interesting question, because especially with technology over time, how do fire trucks find an in-town address or especially an out-of-town address? Does this dispatcher give you directions? Personal cell phones, of course, it used to be a little bit different when there was a lot of landlines, but a lot of those phone calls are coming through on cell numbers now. Yeah,
we actually have a pager, so the department does provide a pager to us. So every firefighter that is employed and our CAT members have a pager like this that they carry around. It's set to a certain frequency. When the dispatcher is notified of an emergency that's happening, they send a special radio tone out to that, and then it essentially starts beeping and vibrating on our hip. We know it's time to go to work, essentially. So we drop what we're doing. My wife's been left at many different places, church or anywhere, essentially, restaurants, and it's difficult with children now, but it has happened where I've left her at different places. But it's kind of what we signed up for here, and that's how we're notified. Directions is a whole different story. We used to have plat books and maps in the trucks. We don't anymore. We actually have an app on our phone called Active 911 that as soon as the dispatcher creates the incident report, it sends a super fast email out that puts all this information together and sends it out to us individually, and it gives us a map to where we need to be, a little bit more information as well, so we have it right in our fingertips. So in all of our fire apparatus, we have an iPad that's connected to that system. They can literally hit a button and have directions on how to get to the incident in no time. We used to also call back on the radio, which created a lot of radio traffic that was unnecessary, I felt. And so this was a good solution and a very inexpensive way to figure that all out. And then now they don't have to write anything down or keep it out. That's all right there, which is really nice.
So if you guys were at the parade, or if you see the fire trucks out and about, you notice that our fire trucks are yellow. Why is Marshall yellow and not red?
That's a good question. We do get this question a lot, actually. Larry Henley was the fire chief, I believe, from 1965 to 1975. And Larry went to the State Fire Chiefs Conference one year, and all of our fire trucks prior to that were red. They were all red. If you've ever seen, and we have it in all the parades, our old fire truck, it was red. The Pierce Arrow, 1916 or 17 Pierce Arrow is red. All of our trucks prior to that were red. And Chief Henley went to the State Fire Chiefs Conference and saw a truck that was safety yellow. And I know that Chief Shealy's going to watch this, and he's going to probably correct me a little bit, but I'm going by what he told me. But Larry came back from the State Fire Chiefs Conference, and he was bound that this is the way we have to go, because it's so much more identifiable, it's more visible, it's easier to see, things like that, than a red fire truck. So he ordered the very first one in the city of Marshall. I don't remember the date, but between that time period. And from what I'm told, everybody hated it. They just hated it because they were used to red fire trucks. And Larry retired in, I believe, 1975, and Chief Ed Sheely then took over. And he said, well, it's already started. I can't stop it. So then all the trucks ever since then, and he retired in 1985, I believe. And ever since then, every truck has been yellow ever since. So it's kind of interesting how that works out. But he brings it up every now and again. We do talk about it, him and I, about that transition. And now it's a staple. I mean, the guys now it's a thing that we hold dearly to us, and we get kind of poked fun at a little bit when we go to big fires and other fires with other people or other agencies and whatever, but it's kind of a cool thing. And there's many different colors, baby blue, purple. I mean, any fire truck color out there in the world is out there, but we take pride in our yellow trucks here.
Sure. Well, good. Lots of good information. More to come. And we'll talk about your open house here next week in just a minute. So what else is going on in October? It is one of the busiest months that we're going to talk about, and there's a few of them I'm leaving out. So one that's near and dear to my heart right now is the Taste of Marshall. It is 1 week from tonight, and it is on a Monday night, October 10th. As it stands right now, we have 18 vendors that are in place. Tickets can be purchased on our website at marshallmn.org, or give us a call at 532-4484. $18, and you get to sample food all night. It's a great deal. It's a lot of fun. You can have the opportunity to vote on your favorite food and the best booth and a few other things. So come on out. It is really a good time. This is the last month of the farmers market. It's crazy because it's always the first weekend of July all the way to the last weekend of October. 4 more weekends to go, folks. The last day is on Saturday, October 29th. Quentin, I would imagine that you guys make it out there once in a while.
We do make it out there. I usually normally get my honey there. I like to watch the music too, and lots of cool things out there. And I know that my kids like the pastries and things that's made out there. So it's fun for us, our whole family, to go out there.
I love how it evolves. You know, you got some different kinds of fruits and vegetables in the summer. Now you're seeing all the painted pumpkins and everything else that's going on out there. The United Way of Southwest Minnesota is having a series of Dine Local events. With these events, they are partnered with a number of local restaurants where a portion of the sales goes back to the United Way. A win-win for both the United Way and for the local restaurants. So you see on the screen the number of restaurants and that are partnering with the United Way. So let's talk about that fire department open house. It is next Thursday the 13th. This is an annual open house. Looks like you are having you're offering a tour, pulled pork sandwich or hot dog meal, and a demonstration to celebrate Fire Prevention Week.
That's right. We typically have it starts at 5 p.m. on Thursday of next week, which is historically when we've always had it. We've got about 12 or 14 individuals that are taking a couple pork butts home. We will be smoking pork butts once again, backed by popular demand. This is about the 3rd or 4th year that we've done that, and it's really been very popular thing for us to do. And so we'll have that as an option. There'll also be a hot dog meal, so you get to choose if you'd like. Take a tour of the firehouse, check out the equipment. We have it all sitting outside. We let kids spray the fire hose. We have one of our members, Mark Adelman, did make up a house that was on fire, and you can spray water at the door, and the fire actually goes out, and the helicopter will be landing. It's usually there only for about an hour. There's a few other places that they have to go, so we'll land them about 4:30. Likely they'll be gone by 5:15 or 5:30 normally is how that works. There'll be an automobile extrication demonstration that we'll be having. I believe it's at 6:30, but I'm not 100% sure on that. And a few other things. State Farm is normally there doing different things, especially for the kids. We have fire helmets that we give away. We have Pluggy will be around, kind of mingling amongst the crowd and whatever. So lots of things and lots of people going that'll be around. And typically it's between 800 and 1,000 people we have at the fire station. We like to get that up as much as we can. We can't guarantee. We smoke 300 pounds of pork butt. Can't guarantee that if you show up at the end, we'll have any left. But historically, we have never ran out. So the very first year we did that, we just about ran out, but worked really well. So good. I look forward to seeing everybody here at that event.
I remember 2 years ago, this was a drive-through event only. Last year, was it open?
It was open, but we had a drive-through option as well. So it wasn't utilized as much as it was back 2 years ago.
Right.
But this year, there's no drive-through option. It's eat in or to go.
That's
only.
it. We're done.
We don't do much to go, so don't expect coming to get a styrofoam containers. We don't have a lot of that stuff.
November 8th is voting day. So because of that, we have a couple legislative forums coming up here in October. That same night, you can actually go to the open house, head over to the Upper Conference Center with your pulled pork sandwich and watch the, be there for the State Senate and State House Forum. Again, that's 7 o'clock, Upper Conference Room right here on campus. Additionally, on Tuesday, October 25th, we'll have a forum for the school board, county commissioners, and city council. This will be held at the YMCA starting at 6 o'clock. So come on out and hear from our candidates in the area. Celebration of Hope is on the calendar for October 14th at Grace Life Church. This is a great opportunity to support the families that receive support from Hope Harbor. If you have never been to it, it is a really, really good time. You can get a table and with your friends and give back to a really important nonprofit here in the area. That same weekend is State Pheasant Opening Weekend. Of course, we get a lot of travelers come back to Marshall. Do you hunt?
Yeah, I do. I haven't. I mean, I got a whole slug of kids now, so I don't hunt as much as I used to. But yeah, we do hunt. I do hunt a little bit.
Please extend a welcoming arm for everybody that's coming into town that weekend. Of course, that Friday night, there's usually an event that has gone on prior to the pheasant opener the following morning. Marshall, the Downtown Business Association is putting on Moonlight Madness on Thursday night, October 27th. This is a very popular downtown shopping event that promises to be a fun night out with the ladies again. So, of course, they do a great job promoting shopping local throughout this night and ends in the upper room. So this is the third floor of downtown, where it used to be called Bella Cucina. This is your opportunity to come see a really cool place. That is a lot of events going on in October, Quentin. Wow. All of these events in October can be found at our website at marshallmn.org or at the Visit website, which is visitmarshallmn.com. So and I didn't even touch on the Hall of Honor event by Marshall Public Schools. Of course, that's on October 29th. Congratulations to the individuals that are being honored on that night. So, Quentin, thanks again for being here.
Yeah, I really do appreciate it.
Yep. In November, I have a couple of SMSU students who are going to be my guests. They'll be representing SMSU in Actus and the Southwest Marketing Advisory Center. So we'll see you in November.